When you install SharePoint, there's one database where you don't have the control over the name. Um, Even if you install it with the configuration wizard or no configuration wizard, you will not have the control over this name. So this database is the admin content database. Okay. Let me just grab a pen in there. Up, up. Okay. So I'm going to show you in a quick slide how to change the name in SharePoint 2010 or SharePoint 2013 because it is exactly the same method actually. So I made just a quick slide. So let me just go through it. Grab the pen. Right. So to change this, we are going to use PowerShell, and that's the easiest way actually to do this. So step one, we are going to create a new content database, a new admin content database. And for this, we are going to use the new SP content database commandlet. Then step two, we are going to retrieve the ID value. It's almost like GUID, okay, for each content DB, admin content DB, because at this stage we have now two content DB. Okay. Step three, we are going to move all the content from the old admin content DB to the new one. And for this, we are going to use the move SP site commandlet. Step 4, we are going to perform an IIS reset, and we can actually do this directly from PowerShell. We are not forced to do that from CMD command prompt window. Then simple for the step 5, we're simply going to go and navigate through the central admin to see if it's still working properly. And to finish on step 6, we are going to remove the all admin content DB with the remove SP content database commandlet. So let's get to work. I'm here on SharePoint 2010 Central Administration, and if I go to Manage Content Databases, you can see that I have my admin content DB with the GUID. And if I switch over my SQL Server, you can see as well that I have the GUID in there for the admin DB compared to my SharePoint 80 where I had actually the control over it, so I gave it a special name. So what I'd like to do is give SharePoint before and then the name that you want, but it has to be meaningful because, for example, if you have your DBA, your SQL administrator, it would be nice for him to know what is what regarding the databases. So let's go back to my SharePoint server, and I have copied in the notepad the PowerShell commandlet. So we're going to run those, and I will explain at the same time. So with the steps that we saw in the previous slide, and I have my PowerShell window open as well. So this is not the SharePoint management shell. This is simply the PowerShell coming with the server. So before I run any of those commands, because this is not the management shell but simply PowerShell, I need to add the snap in. So add ps snap, and I'm just going to press tab, ps snap, and press tab, Microsoft.SharePoint.PowerShell, and just hit enter. So this will add the module for SharePoint. So I will have all the PowerShell commandlet for SharePoint. So let's start. Create a new content DB. So I am just going to copy and paste this one. So we have new SP content DB. I'll give it a name of SharePoint underscore admin content underscore DB for the web application. And this URL is my central admin web application. So Control C on the keyboard. You cannot copy and paste on PowerShell using Control V. So what you do is just you go onto PowerShell and you just right click. So this will copy directly the PowerShell command. So just hit enter, and this is going to create my new admin content DB. Here we go. So we have the ID. So this is the value we will need for after the name and the SQL instance. Let's go back to this. Now we need to retrieve the ID values that we have for the two admin content DB because now we have two. So we are going to copy and paste this one. Don't need to change anything at the minute. Control C and then just right click up. So we have this one, the admin content with the GUID. So that is the old one, and admin content underscore DB, this is the new one. So you can see we have the ID in there, 833 and so on, 67C and so on. So we need those for the over comment that we're going to run now. So we need to move the content from the old admin content DB to the new one. So we're going to use the get sp site commandlet, and we need to change this here with the old DB ID, and here we need to put the new one. So I'm just going to pause the video, I'm going to change this, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've changed the value in here and in here. This is the new one, and that is the old one. So I am just going to copy and paste this in PowerShell and enter. So do you want to move the site? Are you sure? Yes. So A for everything. And you just have to wait a couple of seconds. Here we go. So it even tells you that you have to perform the IAS reset, which was actually the next step. So let's perform the IAS reset. IAS reset and enter. So you can see what's going on in here. So attempting to stop and gonna restart the service and restart it successfully. So that's good. Now we need to just to verify that central admin is working. Okay, so let's go back in here and let's click on anything just to see. And because we perform an IS reset, so sometimes it just takes a while before you can navigate on anything. So yeah, looks fine. Yeah, so you can see that we have two admin content DB now. All right, so everything's fine. We can go to SQL just to check as well. I'm just gonna refresh this, refresh, expand databases, so we can see we have the GUID, and the one properly named. So let's switch back into SharePoint, and everything's fine. So now what we need to do is we simply need to remove the old content DB. So I'm just going to change this value. I know that this one is the old one, so I'm just going to change this like that. Okay, and I'm just going to copy and paste this one into PowerShell. Let's go, enter. Are you sure? Yes, I should have a second one. Yes, I'm sure as well. So just wait for a few seconds. And now it's done. Perfect. So normally it's finished. So we can actually check that I actually added another step compared to the slide. And now we just need to check that we don't have the GUID anymore, and we can check as well in SQL after. So let's just copy and paste the last comment up. So you can see that we have only one, which is the new one, the admin content DB, and we don't have the one with the GUID. We can check in SQL. I'm going to switch to SQL in here. You can see it. We are just going to refresh, expand the databases, and it is gone. So that's it for today, guys. I'll see you in another video.